But what do all these bands have in common? Well, besides being industrial, the Access virus. Today we're diving into the history and influence of the Access virus series in industrial music. Access music got its start back in 1993 when Christoph Kemper began developing MIDI tools under the Access name. At the time, Access was a small but innovative company, creating programming devices for popular synthesizer brands like Oberheim or Waldorf. Here's an Access controller for the microwave signed by Trent Reznor. However, the company was officially founded in '97 as Access Music. In recent years though, Access founder Christoph Kemper turned his attention to creating the Kemper line of modeling guitar amps. The line has been hugely successful, and sadly the Access Virus line has been in limbo as a result. The Virus series is easily one of the most used synthesizer in the industrial EBM and dark electro scene. It's been a staple for countless artists, including Skinny Puppy, Frontline Assembly, 9 Inch Nails, Wumpscut, Rammstein, Velvet Acid Christ, Combi Christ, and many more. The Access Virus A, released in '97, was the company's first synthesizer and quickly became a favorite for its aggressive, versatile sound. While it could deliver modern, punchy tones, it was also capable of emulating classic analog synths. Designed as a tabletop instrument, it was solidly built and looked as good as it sounded. It went beyond a typical virtual analog synth, offering 64 waveforms, in addition to the standard sawtooth, square, sine wave. This hybrid approach allowed it to cover everything from fat basses to unique PPG style sounds. What really set the Virus apart was its filter section. Plus 6 types of saturation. It was especially well suited for the harsh and aggressive sounds of industrial music. In the late 90s, exactly when the Virus was released, the industrial music went through a big transition. The earlier sound of the 80s, inspired by bands like Skinny Puppy or Frontline Assembly, began blending with more accessible electronic styles like trance and techno, and the Virus was made for that sound. In a 1997 interview, Rudy from Wumpscut mentioned the Virus as part of his setup. Right before releasing Embryo Dead, which is, in my opinion, still one of his best work, Rammstein also used the Virus A in the studio while recording Mutter. You can spot it in this photo from those sessions. The Virus was behind the lead sounds in Ich Will and For a Fry. And who better than Reese Fulber from Frontline Assembly to talk about the Access Virus. I actually reached out to him, and here's what he said. He used the Virus on his Conjure 1 project, the intro arpeggio on Center of the Sun, that's the Virus. He also used it on Fear Factory's track Damaged from their 2001 album Digimortal. That chorus synth riff, also the Virus. And it shows up again on Frontline Assembly's 2004 album Civilization. According to Reese, digital synths like the Virus or the Nords tend to work better in metal tracks because analog synths can take up too much space in a mix. Building on the success of the Virus A, Access rolled out the Virus B in 1999. An upgraded version that really pushed things forwards. The Virus B doubled the polyphony. It also came packed with new effects, a retro phaser, chorus flanger, ring modulator. Several new distortion types, an analog boost algorithm. The Virus B was also offered as a keyboard version, complete with nice wood panels and a layout that remains faithful to the Virus A. In 2001, Access released the Virus Rack, a more affordable version with fewer features, but it still delivered the same powerful sound. Around that time, agrotech, a subgenre of industrial, whether you like it or not, was starting to take off. Using a lot of detuned sawtooth leads, distorted sounds, the Virus was basically made for that type of music. In the late 2000s, Access introduced the Indigo, the model I own. It's essentially a Virus B redesigned. I chose it because of the look. I mean, look at those blue LEDs. I love it. In the early 2000s, the Virus was everywhere. Not just in classic industrial or industrial metal, but also in future pop, with artists like VNV Nation or Assemblage 23 leading the way. Tom of Assemblage 23 even used the Virus on one of his most successful album, Failure, my favorite. That iconic bass slash lead sound at the start of Disappoint is, fun fact, an Access Virus preset. Love that sound. There's also a track from Informatic called Retrogradation, the bass sound at the beginning, also a Virus preset. great bass sound. The virus wasn't just used for its sound, it was also used for its powerful filters. Shortly after the release of the Virus B, Nine Inch Nails dropped The Fragile in 1999. Charlie Clouser, who worked on the album, mentioned that they used the virus on The Fragile. In a 2000 interview with Keyboard magazine, he said, "The Access virus and Waldorf microwave also played a prominent role on the record. In my studio," says Charlie, "I basically rely on three synths, the Nord, the virus, and the microwave. We used the TC Electronic Fireworks Effects unit a lot, which has some interesting filters and such. We also did a lot of passing audio through the filter inputs of the Access Virus module and the Roland JP8080. Then the badass Access Virus C was released in 2002, taking everything from the A and B models to the next level. It came in great looking red and black design, still one of the best looking synth ever. It was available in desktop, keyboard, and rack version. Around that time, Access launched the Indigo 2, powered by the same engine as the Virus C. The updated Indigo 2 featured a redesigned front panel, sleek aluminum side panels, and of course, even more blue LEDs. Brian Erickson from Velvet Acid Christ was a fan of the Virus C. In a 2004 blog post on his website, he wrote, "I owned a Virus back in the day, but now I have this Virus C, has killer reverb, and the internal banks finally have great presets that are very varied. This thing does pads and strings much better than Virus A ever did. More filter saturation settings, and with the new OS I get Moog filters that add an entirely different sound to this beast." Around the same time, during Skinny Puppy's 2005 European tour, promoting the greater wrong of the right, Kevin Key's setup featured the Roland V Synth and the Virus KC as his main synths. He used the Virus instead of a Moog used in previous tours. Much more digital sounding than the Moog, but also more aggressive. I actually reached out to Kevin about the Virus, and this is what he said. "Mostly used it as a live synth for a few years. The 2005 tour we have been featuring on my Patreon has had live songs that I can hear the Virus just ripping through all the songs. Later I switched to a Moog Sub 37, of which I don't know why, as the Virus was menacing." Even today, longtime collaborator Ken Hiwatt Marshall still keeps a Virus C in his studio. In 2005, Nine Inch Nails released With Teeth. In an interview with Keyboard magazine, Alessandro Cortini discussed his live setup. "I love native instrument stuff, but with gear bouncing all over the world, I'm more comfy with hardware. So I use Akai Z4 and Z8 samplers controlled by an M-Audio Keystation Pro 88. We actually shaved the knobs off of it so nothing can get bumped by mistake. A Keystation 49 above that plays an Access Virus C for the lead sounds." The Virus TI series debuted in 2005, featuring the TI keyboard and the amazing TI Polar, the ultimate evolution of the Virus line. TI stands for Total Integration, letting the hardware seamlessly connect to a DAW. The synth appeared as a VST plugin, a true hybrid setup that no other synth matched at the time and arguably still doesn't. The series included several versions. Virus TI Keyboard and Virus TI Polar launched in 2005. Virus TI Desktop, a rack module version released shortly after. Virus TI Snow, a smaller, more affordable model introduced in 2008. Virus TI2, a refined hardware update released in 2009. Virus officially discontinued the TI2 in February 2024. The TI remained one of the most iconic and beautifully designed synth ever made. A true machine for computer age that helped shape the sound of industrial music. If you miss the Virus as much as I do and you want it back, you know what to do. Like, comment, and spread the word. Let's start the Bring Back the Virus movement. Ciao.